Hello, this is Steph. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to see how to transmit a video over RTMP. The other time, in the last video, I'll put it up here for reference, we set a UDP protocol to send a video from one side to another. Now we're going to use something that is a bit more reliable and something that allows us something more. So I'm going to see the limitations in a moment. It is very easy. UDP is very easy on one side. You don't need anything, so you need only a connection with some ports open, and it allows you to send from one side to the other without any problems. The RTMP is based on TCP, so we are sending the information in a more reliable way. But on the other side, so it requires a server where you got to transmit the data from. Nothing fancy, nothing so complicated. We're going to see everything in this video. So how to set an RTMP server, and then we're going to transmit using FFmpeg. Then with a client, we're going to enjoy the content that we're sending from one side to the other. For the moment, thank you very much for following me so far. If you didn't do it, please like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified about the next videos I'm going to release. We have Windows ready, but not only, like the other time, so we can get started. Okay, here we are. We have the settings that is like this. We have the Windows machine that is our host, and it will be our client. It will be the one which receives the data from the virtual machine that is on the VirtualBox with Xubuntu open. And now we have Big Buck Bunny here ready to be sent. So here we have a couple of limitations about the UDP. It is very easy if you want to do something very fast, and especially on a local network. So let me open a terminal right here, and okay, here this can be big enough. So here in this folder we have only Big Buck Bunny, and we can send it by going with -RE. That should be the real-time sending of the. So it will send the frames with the real-time frame rate. And here we have Big Buck Bunny. I'm going to select libx264 and as audio we have AAC, too many A's, AAC. Then here CA, okay, this way. And then we have the preset. We set it the other time, so without with a super fast, ultra fast encoding. Then as tune, we put the 0 latency to remove, so we have the least amount of latency possible. And we got to put the format. In this case, it is MPEG-TS. And then we put our server. That is, I remember the type of network that we're going to use. The type of network is with a host only. There is also a net because we have access to the internet. Later we need the access to the outer internet, so we need something like this. But the configuration is something that is that in this way. Here you can see we have two adapters, and the first is a net, and the second is a host only adapter. In fact, later we'll show you. If you put the command for the IPs that we have available, we have two IPs for the two network cards that we have. So here we're going to send the data from the virtual machine to the client. In this case, we can put 192.164. In this case, it's 56.1. 104 is the IP of the machine that we are using, the virtual machine. And here you got to select also an arbitrary door. The arbitrary port, in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you can put any. This has always is always necessary to be put. Otherwise, got to agree on a port you've got to take for the transmission. So here in this moment we have the command ready. Here we can use FFplay, but also MPV. So let's use MPV. That's not to use always the FFmpeg products, even if it is cool. But let's use MPV. We can also put the flags to reduce the latency. But so at the moment I don't have them available. Yes, I have. And so we can put UDP. In this case, we put the local host with this door, with a port. So here we can put the no cache, untimed, no demuxer thread, video sync audio VD LAVC threads equals to 1, and at the moment it is okay. So we receive from here and we transmit from here. Let's see what happens. So everything works fine so far. Also, the encoding is pretty good. The only thing is, if I want to do this from more than one client, this is not allowed. So let me do this thing again. So I will take this command and I will copy it into another tab of terminal. So here it is like so, and we run it. Then I run another. Okay, and here you can see that there's a bind failed. There's an error because there's another connection open. In fact, this is only 1-to-1. Later, we'll see that with the RTMP, we can do it. We can perform more than one connection. In fact, there is a server, there's a multiple client. So this is the UDP is not indicated if you would like to do, for example, a conference. Again, if we run the server here, we run the sending system, it works without any problems. Okay, so now we are in the phase of installing the Nginx. The Nginx by itself is not hard to install. What is hard is the configuration. So let's see how to configure the Nginx server and also all the rest to be all reliable, all working. So first of all, we make a command to make the updates. So here the moment we update all the things, so all the repository entries, and then we give an upgrade just to have an upgrading done. Okay, so that's fine. Now we give also sudo apt upgrade. There's a couple of things to download. There's an update of Visual Studio Code, cool. And once it's finished, we are ready to give the command that you suppose, which is the command that is sudo apt install nginx. Installation is a bit slow. Okay, good. So now the command sudo apt install Nginx. In this moment, I've already installed it. So if you do it, it's not a problem. It will go fast and smooth. And in the end, so Nginx is installed. It is not active yet because of two reasons. First of all, the service is not active. Second, we got to enable the firewall to let the traffic pass through the port designated to the to Nginx. So at the moment we take the basic Nginx, then later we're going to install the module for the RTMP. So at the moment we're going to see how is the firewall. And let's see, so we have FW status, and the status is inactive. So if you take a sudo UFW status, the program that is the net filter firewall is UFW, and now it says inactive. So to enable it, sudo UFB enable, and now it's enabled for our forwarding, for our blocking. So here, if we take sudo UFW status, let's see, it says that it's active. Now, what do we have as apps? To take the apps, we're going to take sudo UFW app list, and here we have all the things. For us, what is enough is Nginx HTTP. We don't want the full, let's take the Nginx HTTP. So to enable the thing, we've got to take sudo UFW allow, and the string as it is with the same capital letters. So Nginx HTTP. Okay, so it added the rules, and now it's time to check how is our firewall. And it says that now it allows only traffic through HTTP through Nginx. So cool. So far, so good. We see also as by the system if the Nginx is up and running. So we take system ctl status Nginx, and we see that now a status is active. Cool. Now everything should be working. So if you take our browser either locally or remotely, so I take also a browser window from outside from Windows, and for the moment let's see the inside. If you put the address of the local host, you should have your home page that is the default from Nginx. So so far so good. If you want to try also from the outside, if I show you here, we have hostname -i. We have this address, so 192.168.56.104. And if we take a window from outside, this is from the host system, can go .56.104, and is accessible also from outside. Sorry, here it's 56. 192.168.56.104. Sorry guys, and here we go. It was too strange that it was lasting for so long. Good. Okay, so now everything is ready as server. We don't do anything advanced. There is a possibility, for example, to install blocks. So if you put a particular address, it will redirect to that part of the server instead of another. So you can put multiple, let's say, domains inside your server. At the moment, we avoid that. What we're going to do now is to install all the modules that are necessary to run the RTMP. So at the moment, we are up to the sharp edge of our updates. So at the moment, we are going directly to install the library. There is libnginx mod RTMP. At the moment I have it installed, so no need to worry about this thing. What we need to do is then to configure the Nginx configuration by going to and touching with a text editor. It can be Nano rather than Vim. So we are going to take sudo vim and this file right here. It is etc nginx.conf. And here, if you go down below, the part that we need to add is this part that is in the end. There is this part with RTMP. We have server. We're going to listen to the default port. In fact, RTMP is a service that works in TCP on port 1935. We put a chunk size of 4096 bytes, and we allow the publishing of the local host, and we deny to publish all the rest. We take the application live, so we're going to put everything live. We don't record anything, so live is on, record is off, and so we leave everything as it is. And here, if you would like, you can change this thing live. If you want to put something else, this is to put /live to be considered for the server. So for us, it's okay like so. So we're going to for you save and close, so WQ, otherwise only Q if you already done this configuration. So now we are set. The only thing that now we need to do is to enable the port in the firewall. So we got to do sudo ufw allow 1935. This is the port we need to do, but on the TCP, not TCP and UDP. If you don't put anything, we enable in all the modes. In this case, we want only the TCP, so 1935/TCP. Okay, let's see sudo ufw status, and we see that we have TCP Nginx, and so here we require a reload of the whole system. So sudo systemctl reload Nginx. And so now we are ready to rock and roll. Okay, now it's time to rock and roll. And how to get this thing. It's nothing simpler. It is quite identical to what we did the other time. The only thing is that instead of using UDP, we use RTMP. So FFmpeg -RE -I. In this case, we have our buddy Big Buck Bunny ready like before, and we have the libx -64, so -C:\v libx 264. Here preset, we use the same preset we used the other time, so preset ultra fast -2 0 latency, and we should have everything ready. What we would like to do is, -CA AAC, just to put the audio codec that is compatible to the one that we have. So the video and audio can get along with one another. And I think we are ready. The only thing that we need to put now is the format. Before we put MPEG-TS, now we don't put MPEG-TS, one that can get along is FLV. So here we put RTMP then, so this is our address, so the format is FLV, flash video. In fact, it is invented by Macromedia, the one that, so the RTMP by the old Flash. Now Flash is deprecated since 2020, so if you have something, get rid of it straight away. And so now we got to put the RTMP server. So our address, so it can be either as IP like this, 127.0.0.1, or also directly localhost. Now we got to put after a slash the name of the configuration that we put in nginx.conf. In this case, we put live. And here we can put an arbitrary name. It can be Go Stream or also BBB in this case, that stands for Big Buck Bunny. And so as soon as we run it, you see that it's running. Now on the client side, what shall we do? So let's stop for the moment because we want this to be receiving before the other is sending. So here we take our MPV. This is the command that we put this time and also the other time to reduce the latency at its maximum. So this will reduce, so we have as least latency as possible. And here we got to put the same address, so it's pointing to the remote address, in this case 192.168.56.104 /live/BBB. So this is a thing that is receiving, this is sending. So as soon as the connection is established, here we go. We have them ready. So here can enjoy the content as best as we can. Good. What's the advantage of having something like this? The advantage of having something like this is that we can run multiple instances at a time. So we enabled the multicast. So we take the command like this, we copy the command in another tab. So we have two instances open. Let's see what happens when you enable the server. Now we have one and two instances of the same thing. So we are enjoying the content on two different locations. This is something that is not available in the UDP. It is available here in the RTMP. So this is a big advantage. And also you saw that there is no falling down of frames, so we don't have any loss. Since it works in TCP, we should have all the things receiving. At most we see something going slower, but we have everything there available. So cool, this is an advantage. Okay, another practical thing that you can do is to share the screen. We saw this thing the other time also. Let's try with the RTMP. So here we have FFmpeg minus, in this case, we can force the frame rate. In this case, minus R60, want to send at 60 frames per second. Then we needed to put the type of format, in this case X11 grab. So in this case we are recording the screen. So X11 grab is the one that we would like to use. Now the input should be the first screen and the first desktop. So column 0.0. And then all the options that we put before, there's nothing fancy. We don't have to send audio, and we only want the screen to send. Otherwise, you can also send the audio, but in this case, not necessary. And we are going on with all the options. So libx264 minus preset, ultra fast, minus tune, zero latency, and minus F, remember FLV, RTMP, localhost, live, slash, this case, let's say screen. So this is a name that we put ourselves. And now we have MPV with all the things ready with this string, the one that we put also the other time and also before. And here we put our RTMP with the name of the server, 104 live screen. Let's see if it is working. Now maybe it takes a bit more time for the getting. And here we have this ready. There's a bit of delay. In fact, there is. Let's see when iconize thing. There's a bit of delay. But you got the advantage that nothing is lost, and nothing is lost, and you have multiple instances. This is the advantage. So you see the amount of delay. Let's see when we take the window up. There are several seconds that passed. A bit of seconds. Okay, maybe the fact is that we run the server before the client, so it takes the stream maybe from the beginning. So this thing, what we would like to do is to run the client before, and then we take the server. Let's see if there is there should be some delay, of course. In fact, here there's a bit of lines behind, more or less 300 frames before, so more or less 5 seconds between one thing and the other. So advantages and disadvantages. The UDP shoots the data if you miss something. It doesn't care. So here maybe it's more indicated to have the UDP instead of the TCP. If you have the UDP, you are more aligned. There's not so much latency. There's no delay at all. But here we are transmitting all the frames, and just in case it slows down to show everything. In fact, you see now that it's not in real time. We have a 0.7, so 70% of the real speed. So this is something that might create some problems. Okay, so here we finished with the RTMP. You see that there are advantages and disadvantages. So the advantage is that the TCP allows you to send everything that you would like to send from one end to the other, or many other destinations. So there is a server, multiple destinations. So it's cool when you need to make a multicast. It's only indicated if you want to send something in real time. So if you would like to have a zero or close to zero latency, this is not indicated. But for some applications it can be indicated. So if you like to send a video as it is from one side to the other, why not? So if you reached up to this point, thank you very much, and I hope it was useful. Just in case, if you didn't do it, please like, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified about the next videos I'll be releasing. Follow also my social media. I'm not that active at the moment, but let's hope that will be. There's still this busy period that will be going for longer than expected. Anyway, I'll try what's possible to be as active as I can, at least here on YouTube, but let's hope also on the other social media. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the ideas, and then you see that what will be the next step, because now we did UDP simpler, we did the RTMP. What will be the next step? Maybe for the people who that asked the question, you'll be satisfied in the next video, guys. I like the fact that you are suggesting me the content. In fact, this is heavily inspired by some of the questions that I've been asked. So please continue. I'll be satisfying all your requests as far as I can, and as far as I know, and as far as I can. If I don't know, I try to explore and make a video about that. For the moment, thank you so much for sustaining me. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that there's a lot of people who are following and enjoying, and please feel free to comment and to raise a discussion, because this is one of the ways we can learn all together. For the moment, thank you very much, and see you next time with other content related to multimedia, but also much more. Ciao! Ciao!